President of the Republic, Madam Jagannath, a pleasure to have you here tonight. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ludovic Larès, the General Manager of NC Partager, and so many friends in arms. We are meeting here tonight for the book launching at NSC Partager. And it gives me great pleasure this evening to be the master of ceremony of this special event, to proceed to the launch of the second edition of Birds of the Masquerades, Mauritius, Rodrigues, Réunion and Islets. You would have already noticed while coming in this hall that these birds have been trapped in nearly a 400-page deluxe book for those who prefer to see them, to learn about them, and to admire them here rather than in cages. Even though that some of us may have been traumatized by the birds of Mr. Alfred Hitchcock in his 1963 movie inspired by the book of Daphne du Maurier. The birds of our friend Narainsamy Ramen are multiple, friendly, and colorful. Totally harmless, should we say. Like, I'm addressing my 32 moviegoers, like the little bird that Burt Lancaster, the actor, succeeded to tame in a movie named Birdmen of Alcatraz of John Frankenheimer, dated the 3rd of July 1962. A 60-year-old movie as from tomorrow. These movie references to tell you that as far as birds are concerned, I usually watch them in films or while trekking rather than birding in the forest, disguised as a sniper but with a camera, like our friend Narainsamy Ramen. That's why I'm full of admiration for Narainsamy Ramen, who has traveled a lot around the world, especially in the Indian Ocean, to watch birds in their natural environment and then to have given birth to this beautiful book, which is more rather also like an album. You would see, for those who would buy the book afterwards, that there's an important part of the book devoted to the history of Mauritius, just to set the decor in which these birds would fly around. The proceeds of the book will go to a foundation created, the Dodo Life Foundation, dedicated to raising awareness about the ecological diversity of Mauritius, to protecting endemic birds and their environment, which you would agree with me is a very tall order, because we are talking about how to prevent deforestation, among other measures that have to be taken. Without going further, I will call now upon we will have now a short video later on Mr. Syed Buddha, who is a member of the Dodo Life Foundation, to address you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Salis. Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Mauritius, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all to the course observed. So, it gives me great pleasure to address you a few words as a member of the Council of the Dodo Life Foundation. Today also marks a very special day for us as the Foundation, because this also marks the day where we're doing the official launch of the Dodo Life Foundation. So first and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to Mr. Narainsamy, Mr. Ramen Narainsamy, also known as Ray, or Bird people. So he's the visionary founder of this foundation, and his unwavering dedication to our environment has really been the driving force behind the setting up of this foundation, and really his commitment to protecting our natural heritage is truly inspirational. So for the little story, I have known Ray for a bit over a year now. So when I was approached to become a member of the foundation, I was really intrigued. So I was told, you need to meet the man, you need to meet Ray. So I met him over a lunch. Apart from the very good food that we shared on the day, he shared his experiences and his passion about what he was doing. And he was very gracious into giving me a copy of his latest book at that time, which was supposed to be his last book, but today we're doing another launch. But he gave me that, and I took it home, and that evening when I was sitting with my children, and I said, come, let's have a look at the birds that's around the Indian Ocean. So I couldn't help when going through the book. There were hundreds of pages, and if you see in the book, it's really heavy. In the way it's heavy, it's super heavy. So I couldn't help but think there is a lot of dedication, there is a lot of patience, there is a lot of hard work that has gone through. Behind this book, then there is someone who's had the patience of going in the forest, going around the islands, photographing these birds, compiling them, getting their stories and whatnot, and putting all of that in a book for all of us to benefit. So this is when I said, look, I need to be part of this journey, and really, I'm really honored to be here today as a member of the council speaking to you. So, a few words about the foundation. We are a charitable foundation, of course, and we built the foundation on 5 core objectives, and each one of them, which we believe addresses the very crucial aspects of environmental conservation and also education in Mauritius. So first is about creating awareness and education. So our aim as a foundation is to foster a very deep understanding of the ecological diversity of our island. We are a very small island, but we do not realize the diversity that we have on this very small rock, some people say, in the Indian Ocean. So through educational programs and initiatives, we want to make sure, we want to ensure that every citizen of the country, be it young, be it old, understands the treasures that lie within our natural world. Secondly, we want to be able to have a repository. We don't have that, a repository of endemic birds. I was speaking to Ray earlier, and he was saying that unlike European birds, the birds that are found in the Indian Ocean islands are very specific to those islands. They're not found around the world. So we want to have a creative directory of endemic birds in Mauritius, thus preserving their history, preserving their stories. This repository will serve, we hope, as a bridge between generations, the young, the old, ensuring that this knowledge and beauty of our avian friends are absolutely cherished forever. Third, we talk about environmental protection. So our pledge is to create and restore the environment and natural habitats of Mauritius, focusing on the very delicate ecosystem that supports our endemic birds. So our efforts will encompass reforestation projects and habitat restoration to safeguard our flora. Then, we are also aiming around raising awareness on deforestation. Mr. Sales mentioned that. So, the dangers of mass deforestation and forest degradation cannot be overstated. We are dedicated to raising awareness about these threats and advocating for sustainable practices to protect our forests for our future generations. Lastly, it's about technology. Interactive digital. We are living in a digital age, we cannot deny it. So we recognize the power of technology in spreading our message. So we aim to develop digital platforms to conduct sensitization campaigns, highlighting the challenges faced by our endemic birds and mobilizing support for their conservation. Now, those are the five, but we also open to any ancillary, accessory projects that might come our way. But to end, I want to say this. Our foundation is not only about conservation or conserving the environment. It is about creating a legacy of awareness, education, and action that benefit the entire population of Mauritius. Our mission, it transcends age, it transcends race, it transcends gender, it transcends background. It unites us in a common cause. So as we embark on this journey, I humbly invite each and every one of you to join us in our efforts, whether through an active participation on your side, whether by spreading the word around you, or simply being mindful of our ecological impact. Every action counts. Together, we can create a very sustainable and vibrant future for Mauritius, where the beauty of our natural world continues to thrive and inspire. Thank you very much for being here today. Thank you for your unwavering support. I hope we can work hand in hand to make a difference for the sake of our environment, for the sake of our wildlife, and for the sake of our future generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It is quite evident that bird lovers are very concerned about climate change. I don't think we should much complain about Mauritius, about our forests. I've been trekking for the past 4 years, twice a month. I've seen forests which are not being heavily tampered with by humans. I have seen rivers, so many rivers, and waterfalls. It's a pity that men destroy these places by throwing everything in a river. I have seen in a river microwaves, mattresses, everything you can just imagine of. But in most cases, all these places are very intact. I have been through Canlabu last Sunday and going up the river for more than 4-hour walk. So that was dangerous. But these are sacred places where you would have appreciated Narainsamy, how climate changes have an incidence on bird habits. We've been surprised, more than surprised, to see about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, under the scorching sun, so many bats hovering over our heads. I've been raised up in the belief that bats are night birds, which you see in movies, of vampire movies. But this is the great perhaps the greatest challenge that we have to meet with. Bird lover, Narainsamy Ramen, to address the crowd. I think I should give him a big applause.
I hope you like it too. Honestly, they are very beautiful things. And they are part of us. Without them, we are doomed. So we need to protect them. So, and we made that specially just to make it a little bit more real for you to be aware. We see that every day on television. That's how. Anyway, it is my pleasure to welcome you to a unique and, I believe, an inspirational double celebration. We are here today to mark the occasion of the launch of a new environmental foundation. The Dodo Life Foundation, together with my latest book, Birds of the Masquerade. These two events are intimately linked. I'm the chairman of the newly created Dodo Foundation. Together with my fellow members, we aim to support public awareness and education about the unique biodiversity of Mauritius. The foundation will strive to preserve and enhance the ecosystem of Mauritius in order to protect our native flora and fauna. We will raise awareness of the dangers of mass deforestation and forest degradation in Mauritius and the threat of climate change. Birds of the Masquerade is my most recent and my ultimate work. This is the first book to photographically illustrate every species recorded in the Masquerade, both past and present. I'm donating part of this proceeds on the sale of this book, and all my previous books support the work of the Dodo Life Foundation. The name of the dodo has become synonymous with extinction. It is just one of dozens of endemic species wiped out by the early colonists of the Masquerade. Climate change is the greatest challenge the human race has ever confronted, and islands such as ours are on the front line of this battle. A wide range of observations, such as melting of glaciers, increased ocean temperatures, shift of the range of many species, provide incontrovertible evidence of a warming Earth. We know now that recent climate change is largely caused by human activities. The present level of atmospheric CO2 concentration is unprecedented in the past million years. It is not just the human race impacted by the climate crisis. Wildlife and wildlife habitats are also profound. Disastrous change, temperature rises may result in collapse of fragile ecosystem and unhabitable for certain animals, forcing wildlife to either migrate or face extinction. Healthy ecosystems with abundant vegetation are essential to absorb carbon from the atmosphere. So preserving, restoring nature is a powerful tool in the battle against climate change. Likewise, in the ocean, warmer water has already caused coral bleaching, causing corals to die. The loss of coral reefs will reduce habitats for many other forms of marine life, and it disrupts the food chain that connects all the living things in the ocean. The flora of Mauritius is one of the most threatened in the world. When humans first arrived here, native forests covered the island, but today, good quality native forests occupy only 2% of the black reef, which is landmass, mainly on mountain ridges, offshore islet and Black River Gorges and Brado National Park. These forests are the last refuges of our endemic flora and fauna. 80% of our endemic plants are considered threatened according to ICUN Red List. They are under threat for further degradation and invasion by alien plants and animals. Deer browse on young plants. Monkeys destroy flowers and fruits as well as foliage. Wild pigs dig out roots and disturb the soil. Rat eats fruits. An important way to combat climate change is to protect and restore native forests. Worldwide, burning and clearing forests contribute over 20% of global greenhouse gas emissions, more than road vehicles, trains and planes combined. Forest restoration, in turn, protects endemic birds and other animals. Soaring temperatures have the potential to destroy the world as we know it. In May 2024 was the hottest May on record globally. In India, deadly heat killed 200 people, including dozens of poll workers at the recent election. In Australia, the gradual drying of the continent has displaced millions of animals in the last decade. In the Caribbean, 300 families living on the island of Panama were relocated to the mainland because their island is sinking into the ocean at the cost of millions of dollars. Meanwhile, it was announced that the rate Earth is warming hit an all-time high. In 2023, we scientists were calculating 90% of the last year's surprising record-shattering heat was caused by humans. Here in Mauritius, warmer oceans are likely to increase. The frequency and intensity of the cyclones we experience. A warmer atmosphere will mean more moisture in the air, so heavy rainfall is expected to increase. Rising sea levels threaten the flood, low-lying such as the Semerando, Trondheim, and Agariga. By the end of this century, Maurice, our international airport, and many of our towns and villages could be inundated. Meanwhile, we face a huge challenge and loss of forest and forest degradation. Birds and their habitats are under stress as never before, and the dangers they face are truly frightening. My books conveys the message that birds are part of our national heritage that deserve to be an immense source of pride for the people of Mauritius. It is our duty to act before it's too late, and education to the next generation is the key. The more children learn about the world, the more they will be passionate and they will become their own heritage, and more fervent they will become to protect it. A quote from Nelson Mandela: "Our children are the rock on which our future will be built, and will be our greatest asset as a nation. They will be the leaders of our country, the creators of our national health, those who care for and protect our people." Another great man, Mahatma Gandhi: "The future depends on what you do today. The greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated." We must also raise public awareness of the need to protect the forest and wildlife. Much has been lost, but Mauritius remains one of the most beautiful countries on earth. I believe you will agree it is our duty to prevent further losses, protect fragile ecosystems, and restore habitats wherever possible. We are all in this together, and together we can make a difference. The choices we make today have the power to reduce the suffering of people and animals in the future. The time is to implement more change for better is now. There's a reason to be hopeful for the future. 2023 was a record year for renewable energy installation. 7 countries in the world now generate 100% of their electricity and renewable sources, from Bhutan to Iceland in 2023. Africa and the Middle East installed nearly 1 gigawatt of wind power, almost triple that of the previous year. A leading scientific research group studies show that the number of government policies tracking deforestation doubled during the year. In conclusion, I wish to thank Mr. President for his support in providing a foreword for my book. Lady Sawajini Jagna, for your encouragement and constant support. And I also thank my friend Rajkumar Perta for his unwavering support. I thank Adrian Stewart, my friend, which is in Cheshire, and sadly, not be there today. He wished me all the best. I thank all my family for always being by my side, supporting me through thick and thin. Your presence in my life means the world to me. Finally, I thank all of you here today for attending this event. You are all leaders of a chosen profession. The Deodoo Life Foundation needs your support, including through sponsorship and project support. I hope you will take away not just a copy of Birds of the Masquerade from this event, but a determination for us to unite, accept, educate through education, awareness, affirmative action to preserve and protect and enhance our natural heritage, and not to be exploited. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I will now call the President of the Republic to take the floor.
To Philip. Lady Sarojini Jagrat, Mayoress of Louis-Saint-José, Chairperson Bhojpuri Speaking Union, Director MGI, Director Agricultural Marketing Board, our host for today, Mr. Ludovic Lares, GM NSC, Mr. Narainsamy Ramen and Mrs. Ramen, author of the book and founder of Deodoo Life Foundation, members of the foundation. I see so many friends, well-wishers of Mr. Ramen, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, everyone. Let me, first of all, make a request. Mr. Ramen was talking about preserving our environment, our birds, but we also at the same time need to protect each and every part of our heritage, which includes also Creole language. I don't know whether it is going to be a problem if I continue in Creole. If there is anyone who doesn't understand the Creole language, of course I'm going to continue in English. I don't see anyone raising their hands. Oh, one lady there. Therefore, I can't compromise. It is, in fact, with immense pleasure that I am in your midst for this double event. And I must say that I have been used to be part of events organized by Mr. As far back as 2021. Since then, I have had the opportunity and the privilege of regularly encouraging and supporting Mr. Ramen in all his endeavors. First, there was a launching of, I won't say a book. There were two very voluminous volumes of birds. And last year, or the year before, I recall having been part of an event organized at the Portmis Natural History Museum, where Mr. Ramen organized an exhibition. But before that also, I I must say that in my previous life as Minister of Arts and Culture, I have had the opportunity of meeting Mr. Ramen, and I believe somebody mentioned it. Each time, it is supposed to be his last public teaching. I have been doing that for quite a few years, but nevertheless, it is today very comforting that Mr. Ramen, one of our most senior members of the Mauritian diaspora, is still actively supporting Mauritius and sharing with us his experience, his wide experience in terms of birds. I won't delve into the long journey of Mr. Ramen, just to say that he has been a very active photographer, serving not only Mauritius but also UK at different levels. But he's passionate about it. I remember one day he explained to me how he had been waiting patiently for more than a day to be able to have a glimpse of birds which have been encapsulated in the books. And he told me something very interesting. You have to be ready, because you can't talk to the bird and tell you, okay, wait. You have to wait, and at the moment when you feel that you can have a good shot, you have to get it there and then. Perhaps you don't realize how challenging it is, and we're talking here of hundreds of photographs. And if I'm today present here is again to say thank you to Mr. Ramen, and in my own humble way, encourage Mr. Ramen to pursue his passion and to transmit his passion to others. Not only the passion, but also his wide knowledge on the subject. I'm glad that he went even further by coming today with the creation of a foundation, the Toute Life Foundation, to give even more life to his passion by creating a foundation to protect the environment. I understand that the foundation has three main objectives: raising awareness of our ecosystem, how diverse and rich it is, protecting our endemic birds, and also highlighting the dangers of deforestation and forest degradation. It isn't the first one who mentioned about what's happening to our habitat, what's happening to our environment. But we should nevertheless congratulate him and all those who are joining him in this initiative. Why I say that is that we should never feel helpless. At some point in time, we may feel, what can small Mauritius do? We know that we are a small dot. And what difference can it make when we compare the whole globe about a small island, 2,000 kilometers square, lost in the ocean? Should we just remain like that? Lament? No. We should do our little bit. And I'm sure that Mr. Ramen, his friends, whatever they are doing, will inspire others. And just hope that whatever is being done is going to create an awareness. I am also not too pessimistic. Why I say so is that we have been talking about climate change, environment for decades, 3 or perhaps 4 decades. But we all see there is today, within public opinion, it is accepted that things are getting from worse and worse, and essentially among the youth. The youth are really concerned about the environment, and they are showing it in many ways. And it is where individuals like Mr. Ramen can make a difference. Because what Mr. Ramen has, he can have the trust of all those, because he's so passionate about birds. There won't be birds in the ecosystem without environment. And he has been so close to birds that he feels rightly that it is not just a question of going there, putting all those birds on beautiful books. Something should be done at the ground level. When I say ground level, it is where the problem really is. Protecting the forest, protecting the ecosystem, but also encouraging, educating others to do their little bit. And I'm sure that each and every one of you here will also do your little bit. Finlay has made reference to, quoted a few about birds. Mr. Ramen quoted a few about environment. I will quote what Lynn Desmond Tutu used to say. Let us all do our little bit. And it is also this little bit put together that can overwhelm the bird. And this is what Mr. Ramen is doing. The same way, I always profess on one thing. We talk about sustainable development, we talk about so many SDG goals, but I always try to emphasize on goal 17, where we need to make all the different 16 goals achievable through the last goal, which is we need to collaborate and partner. And it is exactly what Mr. Ramen is doing. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that by your presence, you are not only honoring Mr. Ramen, but you also, in your own little bit, you will try to help in this very noble cause. We should not try to see whether, in fact, our little bit is going to make a difference. But at least let's do it. Whether whatever Mr. Ramen wishes to do is realistic, this time of the issue. To what extent the change that we are finding all around can be mitigated. Scientists themselves are quite pessimistic about it. If we can't mitigate, we need also to adapt. Both should be done together. Mr. Ramen came up with a very curious figures about how things are changing. We feel it everywhere. We were mentioning about heat wave. We have a big problem of coastal erosion. Coastal erosion is something which we see all around the country. And mind you, when we talk about about environmental changes, it is not just a question of having beautiful beaches going away, but it's economic consequence. Not only for our tourism, for our agriculture. I was reading yesterday that in India, monsoon period supposedly they have less water than rain than they used to have. You realize how it is difficult for persons engaged in agriculture to know at what time they need to start planting. The weather today is nobody can predict. This ecosystem we're talking about is not only for birds, it is for each and every one of us. We are finding at the same time drought. We are finding floods. This year, Dubai, Oman, and so on had 2 flash floods. Never ever heard of. I was there at that time, and nobody in Dubai even thought about having drains. Because it never happened. It was never a question of them having so many rain. This is where we need to see how. We should not be pessimistic nor being alarmist, but at least let us do something. Let us do our little bit. With these few words, ladies and gentlemen, I wish Mr. Ramen well, I wish all those who are supporting him well, and feel reassure Mr. Ramen that we shall always by your side, trying to support you and encourage you, and wish to see by next year your next publication. Thank you.